facts about the nature of organization change. There's a lot of small and big businesses nowadays, but did you ever wonder how can they manage to save their businesses and how can they adopt a sudden change in the workplace? A change in management is a continuous cycle inside an organization, and there's no need to fear change. Instead, embrace it as a way of saving business or enduring success. In fact, change is necessary to apply new ideas and improve a certain process, product, or service. Embracing change is never easy, but the progress of change is impossible without it. Change process is started by seeking how is the way of transformation will occur, which then draws attention to issues such as pace of change, decision making and communication, sequence activities, and responses to actions of others. Example of a critical issue during change is that people who have been used of doing the same routine in the workplace for a long time don't like to be suddenly told to do things differently. That a chaos can be formed in the workplace, which will implement change and achieve goals. But don't lose hope, there are indeed ways to avoid conflicts during the change. Change occurs in all kinds of businesses, which often happens to either engage with the problem that a business goes through to be able to go back up, or just simply wants to set a new goal for the business to move higher. The nature of organization change may seem like a lot of work, but if a business applies the right approach to the change, hard work will pay off. Change process started by selecting the change agent, developing the change relationship, identifying the client or target group, and clarifying what needs to be changed. Here are the four well-known different ideal type of process change, which includes number 1, teleological theories, which by means emphasize on goals and activities to achieve them. The best example for that, a small firm focuses on its goals to be able to stay on track. Number 2, dialectical. This focuses on competing political forces. This method is considered very powerful method of approaching objectivity and truth. 3, life cycle theories. This is the progression of change events, which in this model is a unitary sequence, which follows one single sequence of stage or phases and is cumulative. Last, evolutionary theories. This process is based on assumption that societies gradually change from simple beginnings into even more complex forms. Change process will not start a good progress addressing the need for change, as it is the time you seek sense of urgency. As been said before, the how question has a major effect in change management, which then lead us, that is, diagnosing what needs to be changed and formulating a vision of preferred future state. A future state develops a vision for the whole organization, envisioning impacts for the own part of organization. A business must think outside the box until a qualified vision change is attained. Motivate is importantly, a business must have the knowledge and ambition to be able to achieve mission and vision. Planning and preparing for change is where things get more complicated. A business, for example, has been working the same routine, but that routine does not work anymore. Planning strategies on how to work without causing chaos, though chaos will always be there. Hence, preparing team members and leaders to be more patient, understanding, and supportive with each other. As the change in management is planned, the business will move on. Change and reviewing progress. So this includes attention being paid by goals, communicating all aspects of change, motivating each other to support the change, reviewing the change and monitoring progress, and lastly, implementation and the lack of coordination. Sustaining the change is the last in the change process. All these leaders and team members, hence leadership and teams have also main roles in the change management. There are qualities of a leader or change agent which include culturally sensitive, entrepreneurship, socially responsible, and an active learner. A leader must always win the hearts of its team members by giving them equal tasks. Team members as a team includes communication, trust, friending one another, motivation, commitment and dedication, and support. With all these positive behaviors, each team members and the leaders are most likely to learn how to work effectively towards the goal. It is not always 100% guaranteed that all members will agree with one another because of the main obstacles such as miscommunication, misleading, and lack of cooperation. Many organizations are better at being proactive, searching out potential threats and opportunities, rather than being reactive, which only respond when there is pressing need to do so. Adapting change in the business is easier when it overcomes obstacles and takes both opportunities and threats by engaging more into a continuous incremental change process, which helps maintain alignment with the environment. Continuous incremental change is how adaptation with the change in environment has a small and gradual movement along the change axis. Although it may be ideal to many businesses, but there are still some businesses that are slow to adapt caused by promoted inertia with strategic drift, growing misalignment with external environment, and misalignment forces some form of radical transformational change. Inertia causes misalignment due to cognitive biases restrictions, such as insufficient attention to the possibility of doing things differently, as well as containing such motivational barriers that increases returns from doing more of the same. The slower adaptation businesses do, slower the recognized need for change and slower than others to take action. Therefore, it is more difficult to manage change, such less time, and under pressure. Nevertheless, there are two sources of change. One, internal, that operates within the organization. Number two, external, that operates outside the organization system. External sources include the model. P for political, E for economic, S for socio-cultural, T for technological, L for legal, and E for environment. Furthermore, internal sources have its own crisis through growth of change. Evolutionary change is characterized by management style and management problem. Creative expansion in evolutionary phase leads to leadership crisis and revolutionary phase. Initially, the organization enjoys expansions through creativity and proactive natures of its founder. However, this leads to a crisis of leadership, as a more structured form of management is required. Fractional expansion leadership to a crisis of autonomy. As the organization experiences expansions through directive leadership, a more structured and functional management system is adopted. However, this leads to a crisis of autonomy. Greater delegation of authority of managers to lower level is required. Expansions through delegation leads to crisis of control. As the organization expands from delegating more responsibilities to lower level managers, top-tier directors start to lessen their involvement in the routine operation, reducing the communication between both levels. This eventually leads to crisis of control, as lower level managers become accustomed to working without the instruction of top-level directors. This leads to conflict of interest with directors who feel that they are losing control of expanding organization. Expansions through coordination leads to a crisis of red tape. This eventually leads to crisis of red tape where many administrative obstacles reduce efficiency and innovation. At this stage, organizations seek to overcome the barrier of red tape through adopting a more flexible versatile matrix structure. Complex and formal systems are also made simpler, and there is an increased emphasis on the communication between managers to solve crucial problems. Organization change have so much process in it. However, trust and support are the most effective way to reach till the end. There are recommendations for the leaders who have the motivation to succeed. According to John Hayes, using the 7 tasks help ensure and endure the success, which tasks such as number 1, sense making, being alert to all impacts of change agenda. 2. Visioning, having a strong vision and understanding of the change. 3. Sense giving, by communicating and listening with trust to achieve goals. 4. Enabling, having to create conditions that empower others to implement change. 5. Aligning, having to inspire everyone to take actions. 6. Supporting, letting others explore and understand what needs to be achieved. Lastly, 7. Maintaining momentum or sustaining the change, having a genuine commitment towards the mission vision, keeping people focused on change. Never panic if you go through a crisis during change state. Instead, keep focusing on what needs to be achieved. I'm Mariela Alfonso, and thank you for your time.